Hello and welcome to my channel. So today we have a random reading. We're going to pull a spirit card from the Spirit Card Oracle deck by John Mosley, those interested. We'll pull one, we'll read from the book, we'll build a tarot around it, take its energy, what we know, what we don't know, recent past advice and potential outcome. Thank you however you support the channel. Anybody can watch this. You might be drawn in by the title or the card itself, whether that's a earth spirit, air spirit, animal spirit, who knows. And yeah, welcome. All information is in the description box. That's everything. Okay guys, before we get, I almost feel like something's been sped up because I'm being reminded of what happened yesterday. I took time out to go relatively close seaside resort, beach town, where I am, and on the train back it was dead weird. I went online to check my to check the trains, and I had to change. There was a change, very very brief change, but change nonetheless. And when I got on the train, the first train, my train went all the way to the destination, and I thought, how baffling. Changing beat the original train by 7 minutes, so you know, nothing incredible, you know, nothing world beating about that. But there was something about that. Normally I'd have just said, oh, sod this, pardon my French, I'll just stay on the same train. But then I thought, no, this has happened for a reason. So I did the change. I should have got in at the original train arrived at 12:08. This new train arrived in at 12:01. And as we were going, it was slowing and slowing and slowing, and it said the updated time it would be arriving like 12:05. I was like, for crying out loud, you know, not really gaining anything here. But in the end up, it sped up, and we arrived at 12. So we even beat the 12:01. And there was just something very, very significant that I was shown there. It's like something that's been sped up, something that felt maybe drawn out is now being sped. Let's see if it ties in with this this spread, but that's what I've been shown. So, and it's another nod to just trust where you're guided. You know, it didn't make any sense, and it wouldn't have cost me any more. It was there weren't set seats or anything like that, but the universe was saying, get off this train, get on the next train. So there's me thinking, all right, I'm either going to meet somebody or I'm going to hear a conversation or there's going to be a sign, etc, etc. But it was about the timing. It was about the timing, something that felt like it's just getting later and later and later, and all of a sudden it's being sped up. So let's see what's going on. Let's do you. Spirit Priestess, Sovereignty, Emissary, Femininity. Card number 4. Bottom of the deck we have Raven Magic. Nice. Synchronicity, Magic, Rebirth. Again, trust in the synchronicities. And if we look at the numbers here, we've got 426. Now 426 could indicate April of 2026. Could be something significant, a new start possibly, who knows. So, Spirit Priestess. An archetype of the most mystical light, I am the visionary inside of you, an oracle, a feminine counterpart of your premonitions in form. When you cannot see, trust. I am weaving you perfectly through all dimensions. Again, it's like, you know, trust the process. I had my hair cut yesterday, and the first thing they did was just like zero, and obviously all this was long, and it just like, I was like, trust the process. They fade, or whatever they call it. Trust in a process. Spirit Priestess is the embodiment of the sovereign, awakened divine feminine here in her role as emissary. She has heard and is answering a deep inner call to walk the path of the priestess in this world. This is not an easy path, but she gathers strength and inspiration, knowing she is here not only for herself, she is here to help heal the planet and us all, including past, present and future generations. This takes deep inner work, confronting, clearing, healing past wounds and forgiving. Okay, I know what this is about. It's about my... Okay, right. So, let me read this first and we'll go through it. She raises the vibration of the world by offering sacred ceremony and ritual and bringing awareness of this sacred connection out into the world for us all to benefit. In deep connection with the forces of nature and spirit, she uses daily prayer and meditation to be in harmony with both inner and outer worlds. In this painting, the spirit priestess has her left receptive eye wide open, looking with innocence and curiosity out into the world. Her right eye is blended in with the foliage, which symbolizes seeing through the eyes of nature, aligned with its wisdom. The swan in her headdress represents purity and grace. The jaguar spirit looking over her right shoulder signifies being in her authority and acting with integrity. She is also blessed with butterfly spirit and plant spirit and their healing medicines. The spirit priestess emerges from these cards with the message that you are here, you are a sovereign being and there's no need to play small. Have confidence and presence and move with the ease and grace of royalty. You have the power of alignment with spirit guarding and guiding you, and you are supported and protected along every step of this sacred journey. Your role is both as a leader and emissary. Also, even though you are activating and inspiring others just by being here in your natural essence, you have many skills and abilities that you can look forward to developing further to fulfill your destiny here. Nice. So, the whole basis of the trip, well, it wasn't the whole basis, I didn't click until I was there, but I thought I just wanted to, go in the sea, really. And I'd completely, I knew I'd been there before, but I'd completely forgot, the ins and outs and the last time and the implications of the last time. And the last time I was at this this destination was the last ever holiday I had with my ex-wife. And the time that during that time, my world was crashing. I was a duck on water trying to make everything flow as if everything was fine, and in reality it was complete chaos and ruin. And it showed when I was there yesterday and the day before, I didn't even notice the mountains. I didn't even notice the beauty around me because I was just that low, done, buried, and missed the beauty and simplicity. And it was what was needed, the reason why the universe guided me there. And fancy that, last ever holiday with the ex-wife on the Chiron line. I'm currently travelling on my Chiron on my ascendant. So yeah, before the awareness came in, that was doomed. And it was the realization of forgiveness for myself, for operating from a frequency where, like I said, when you're that caved in, when you're that blocked, you don't see rubbish, you don't see anything. And it was just so powerful when I was there. I was like, I didn't realize how close the mountains were. They're literally on top. And even if I saw them back then, nothing registered. And that was just a very surreal moment. So something is shifting for you, but it's requiring you to look at something possibly from the past. Well, it doesn't have to be forgiveness for yourself. It could be for others. It could be both. Forgiveness for self is massively important. Forgiveness for others as well, just as important. Doesn't mean to say that you all, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It just means you don't hold it in your body anymore. And that's what's really important here. Okay, Spirit Priestess. Let's do one more. What do we got? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so something is shifting. The Wheel of Fortune is here. This is Jupiter. So, with the Spirit Priestess amplifying here gifts, I also want to mention the amplification of Jupiter in general. Everything about this energy is infectious, optimism as well as pessimism. So there's a need to remember your power in quite a lot of situations in life. We can, and again, what the expansion of me back then, very, very, very low, very, very dense, very, very stuck in material world, and we cannot see. So this could be having forgiveness for somebody that can't see in an area of life. What do we know? Nine. Oh, I really hope 9 of Cups is your outcome. What don't we know? We do, because I've just spoke about it. Recent past. Okay, advice. The breakthrough is coming. Something is moving towards you, whether you're ready or not. And the outcome. Okay. Perfect. Bottom of the deck, Temperance, Sagittarian energy. In fact, there's quite a bit of Sagittarius energy here. It's the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius. With the 7 of Pentacles, King of Swords, 6 of Cups, the World, the Sun, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Justice, and the 8 of Cups. 6 of Wands and the Devil. Nice. Okay. So, something is shifting dramatically. What we're aware of is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of surrender. It's a card of sacrifice as well. You know, we've got a hidden aspect of Odin here. Jumping ahead, your outcome's the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is Sun in Aries. The Sun meets the Emperor. The Emperor in this deck is Odin. Odin represents the All-Father, but he represents he sacrificed, again, left eye, the spirit priestess, sacrificed his eye for knowledge, for the wisdom of the runes. And all he asks in return is sacrificing fear to going after what you want. Okay? It's not an easy path. The path, that was a beautiful, there's a chap on Instagram, Topher Kirby, he does a lot of poetry and art, and he says the path gets difficult at the same time it gets meaningful. So something is trying to bring you meaning here. What we're not aware of is the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini. So where we got Jupiter in Gemini is the Wheel of Fortune meets the Lovers. And again, it's like the Lovers could be with 2 people, it could be decisions, but again, Jupiter expands whatever it hits. If we're self-doubt, pessimism, you know, overthinking, boom, it really advances that. But likewise, you know, optimism, beautiful, which is what Sagittarian energy is optimism and positivity. Recent past is the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is the King of Water. Okay. The King of Cups is 2 parts Scorpio, 1 part Shadow Libra. Now, Shadow Libra is... It could indicate like a false light aspect, but Shadow Libra, Libra energies, it can be people pleasing, especially with the Hangman here as well, because it's very self-sacrifice. But when we people please, we can become inauthentic. We can become, you know, we agree with one person, then we agree with the next person, yet those 2 people are completely different, you know, points of view. You know, how can you agree with both? That's people pleasing. That's been inauthentic. It's been not having that voice, not having that your own purpose, and that's the shadow aspect of Libra. It doesn't mean to say, you know, all Libras have this sort of shadow. We all have a 7th house or a Libra house in your chart. So that area of your life, you are prone to have that shadow. Doesn't mean to say you do. But there's something here about inauthenticity that's been in the past that needs to be rectified. You know, do we change depending on who we're talking to? that's what we need to assess here. It's also a little nod to Angel Rochelle at number 69. That came up recently, and I don't know whether it was a private read or a collective, or a zodiac. I find what is essential, the development of qualities. The angel of restitution helps us find lost or stolen objects, ideas or feelings, and allows us to learn to give and receive in our exchanges with others in a healthy and balanced way. It helps us regain lost potential. Cleanses and transforms karma. The shadow aspects though, jealousy, possessiveness, egoism, which is again, 2 parts Scorpio, their aspects, the shadow aspect is jealousy and possessiveness. Spousal relationships based solely on sexuality and materialism, sexual abuse, multiple relationships, family problems, difficulties related to succession, inheritance and work of notaries, problems with giving and receiving, vampirism takes other people's energy. Again, that can be just as innocent of recognizing the infectious nature of our being, and if we're pessimistic, we're affecting others. Ruin, lack of receptivity or emissivity, definitely me in the past, without question. So we've all, bearing in mind I'm no strong connection to a King of Cups type of energy in terms of zodiacs, we all embody it. We all have to deal with our water, we all have to deal with our earth, we all have to deal with our air and our mental passion, fire. Advice, Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a breakthrough coming, and the reason why it's breakthrough is because it is Ginkgo biloba. The reason being, we got Raven at the bottom of the deck. So Ginkgo biloba is number 39. The dawn of a new mind, new ideas, visionary thinking, mental clarity, resilience. Reversed, overthinking, clouded judgment, mental despair, weighed down by collective darkness, ruled by Mars and Uranus. The sword of truth held by the hand of God rises from the clouds, signalling a moment of breakthrough. This double-edged sword is encircled by a golden crown, symbolizing the victory of transcendence over illusion. Both Ginkgo and Raven are ancient guardians of Earth, both symbolizing the strength and resilience required to protect the ethereal realm, the source of magic. If Ginkgo has appeared in your spread today, you are about to experience a total breakthrough, a revolutionary change in consciousness. Bring the light of dawn to you, the ongoing cycles of darkness within yourself or those experienced on Earth. Stay dynamic and fluid, and don't allow negativity to cloud your judgment. Beautiful. And then the outcome, like I say, is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands, for me, as much as I love the Nine of Cups, which is Jupiter in Pisces, the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman, this makes more sense. Because if you look, she's opening the door here. So think how I was talking earlier about just not being able to see it, too dense, too, lost, basically. The doors are opening. So something is really opening up here, where you get to see beauty, simplicity. Maybe perhaps that forgiveness, maybe the Ace of Swords is the breakthrough in forgiveness. Who knows? Okay, I want to see where there's a few things that we need to bring together here. Hangman and the Wheel of Fortune is the Nine of Cups. Eight of Swords and the Ace of Swords is the Nine of Swords. Eight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune is the Lovers. And we've already seen the Sun next to the World, so I want to see where the Emperor is for good old Odin. Nine of Cups is with strength and the Three of Swords. Yep. Seeing a new version of yourself. Definitely. Closing out cycles. A wish fulfillment awaits. The Emperor is with the Page of Wands and Judgment. Look at that. Perfect. There's some aspects here. For some of you, you could be looking at San Pedro as well. Just looking at the cactus next to the... San Pedro is kind of the... so if they say ayahuasca is like Mother Earth, San Pedro is Father Sky. So we've got here the Emperor, the Father, and we've got the cactus in the background, which is the San Pedro. So there could be diving into plant medicines in some aspects here, but there's a big call coming. Nine of Swords is with the Moon and the Five of Wands. Again, I think that's just the little nod here to say, you know, the path gets difficult, at the same time it becomes meaningful. Five of Wands is Saturn in Leo, so the world meets strength. But the whole idea is Saturn is lead, Leo is the heart, it's the gold. So it's just the alchemical process here. And that's what the ultimate aim is. You know, bottom of the deck, alchemy, temperance. But this is the most difficult part of alchemy, is what temperance does. She balances fire and water. So when we think of the prima materia, you know, earth and water create salt. So we've got salt, mercury, sulfur. Earth and water, salt. So to achieve that, we're grounded with earth, we flow with water, we become the salt of the earth type of thing. Mercury, air and water. Air, communication, water is emotional. So it's emotional maturity, emotional communication, it's, you know, emotionally intellect. We master Mercury, sulfur, fire and air. Both masculine energy. How do we kind of power that? We communicate with passion. We maintain eye contact. We're enthusiastic. We know what we're good at. We excel at what we're good at, and we go for gold. We talk about it. We roll it off. There's your sulfur. So you got your sulfur, you got your mercury, and you've got your salt. Problem is, what do you do with that? You need the container. The container is the body, which is where fire and water need to be balanced. So the fire and water balances the body. That's the hardest part of alchemy. Are we purified enough to take a lot of passion? Do we burn out the water within us because we're go, too much masculine? Or, you know, do we completely go with the flow where there's no passion and life just takes us along and that's it? No real striving for anything. We got to find that balance, but then we got to prepare the body before that. Okay, I think, was there any more? Lovers, of course it was. Bit of Richard Ashcroft there in my head. Lovers. Is with the Ten of Swords and Death. So even the Sun is there twice, because that's the Sun in Lovers, Sun in Gemini, and Death is that scorpionic energy with the transformation. And the Nine of Wands is Gungnir. Odin's spear hits its mark. It's Moon in Sagittarius. So again, bottom of the deck, alchemy, Sun, alchemy, Moon, alchemy. Okay. You are on the path, and there is a significant breakthrough coming. It's going to revolve around something to do with the past, possibly to do with either forgiveness of self, certainly how it was shown to me. If it's not, it's going to be a breakthrough in getting you out of mental gymnastics, possibly. Okay? Interesting. Let's, what should we do? Should we get a goddess? Iris, communication. Okay, there could be communication coming in, breakthrough. And we've got Lilith at the bottom. Of course we've got Lilith. Of course we've got Lilith. Okay, card 23. Clarity. So there's clarity coming. We've got that almost 3 times now, breakthrough. Clarity in communication is called for, as your words will have great impact on others right now. It's a wonderful time to start writing that book, telling new stories and sharing your experience, strength and hope with others. You have everyone's ear, so choose your message wisely. Others will also desire positive and fruitful communication with you, so get ready for some amazing new opportunities to come from these discussions. Just remember to stay open and be clear about expressing your deepest desires, always speaking with integrity, kindness and respect for yourself and others. The Greek messenger goddess Iris is thrilled to help your words take flight. Communication improves in all your relationship when she comes to visit. Most important, however, Iris reminds you of the communication you have with the universe. You are in a mutual dialogue, and now is the time to pay attention to the signs and omens in your life. Trust this important yet subtle communication. It will never lead you astray when you listen and act accordingly. Alignment message: you are facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected. Perhaps people are withholding information from you or are not being clear about their motives. Now is the time to ask for clarity and to get clear yourself. If you're sitting on the fence and are ambivalent about your direction, say that. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, no to coercion, manipulation, and covert intentions. That's the shadow energy of the King of Cups, definitely. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you. Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication, and she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you've come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you have not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling, but that's all right. Times are changing, and now is not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity and says it's your turn to be heard, so gather your courage. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you, and then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must still speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it, or to find a way to the real truth. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. A breakthrough is coming, guys. Do not let truth put you off, because something, like I say, is coming for you, and it's going to be a breakthrough. Okay, see you soon. Bye.